My name is Daniel, and I'm about to share the most uncomfortable moment I've ever experienced with my stepmother. What she asked me to do that afternoon still makes me cringe when I think about it. But the truth is nothing like what you're imagining right now that my dad married Carol when I was 19. I was away at college when they met, so by the time I came home for winter break, they were already engaged. Carol was 15 years younger than my dad. She was 38. He was 53. My mom had passed away from cancer 3 years earlier, and honestly, I was just happy to see my dad smiling again. Carol was different from my mom. She was a yoga instructor, very health conscious, always talking about energy and chakras and holistic healing. My mom had been a practical accountant who thought yoga was just expensive stretching. The contrast couldn't have been more stark. Our relationship was polite but distant. I was an adult living my own life, and Carol seemed to understand that she wasn't trying to be my mother. We got along fine at family dinners, exchanged pleasantries during holidays, but we never developed a close bond. Then came that summer afternoon that changed everything. I was home from college for the summer, working a temporary job and saving money. I'd just gotten home around 4 p.m. when I heard Carol call out from the living room, "Daniel, Daniel, are you home? I need your help." Her voice sounded strained, almost panicked. I dropped my bag and rushed to the living room. What I saw stopped me in my tracks. Carol was lying on her back on a yoga mat in the middle of the living room floor, dressed in workout clothes. Her face was twisted in pain, and she was breathing in short, rapid gasps. "Carol, what happened? Are you okay?" "My back," she gasped. I was doing a new pose, and something seized up. "I can't move, Daniel." Every time I try to shift position, the pain is excruciating. Should I call 911? No ambulance. I need you to help me, please. I knelt down beside her, my heart racing. "What do you need me to do?" "I need you to touch me," she said, wincing with pain. My entire body went rigid. "What?" "My lower back. There's a spot, a pressure point. If you can press it correctly, it might release the muscle spasm." "I can't reach it myself." I stared at her, my mind completely blank. My stepmother was asking me to touch her back. It was innocent. It was medical. But every instinct in my body was screaming that this was wrong, that this was crossing some invisible line. "Carol, I don't think I'm qualified. Please, Daniel. Your father won't be home for 3 more hours. I've been lying here for 45 minutes, and the pain is getting worse. I need help now." She was crying now, tears streaming down her face. This wasn't manipulation, this was genuine agony. "Okay," I said, my voice shaking. "Tell me exactly what to do. There's a book on the coffee table of pressure points for pain relief. Find the page on lower back spasms. It will show you exactly where to press and how much pressure to apply." I grabbed the book with trembling hands and found the page. There was a diagram showing a specific point on the lower back, just above the hip. The instructions said to apply firm, steady pressure for 30 seconds. Found it. "Are you sure about this?" "I'm sure. Just do exactly what the book says." "And Daniel, thank you. I know this is awkward." Awkward didn't begin to cover it. I positioned myself beside her and located the pressure point through her shirt. "I'm going to start now." "Wait," she said suddenly. "The shirt is too thick. You need to touch the skin directly for it to work. Can you lift my shirt just a little?" This was getting worse by the second. "Carol, I really don't think." "Daniel, please." I wouldn't ask if there was any other option. This is medical. That's all this is. With shaking hands, I lifted the edge of her workout shirt just enough to expose the lower back area. I found the pressure point and began to apply pressure. Exactly as the book described. Carol gasped. Then slowly, her breathing began to change. The rapid, panicked breaths became slower, deeper. "Is it working?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Yes, keep going." Exactly like that, the 30 seconds felt like 30 hours. I counted every single second in my head. following the book's instructions precisely. When the time was up, I released the pressure and quickly pulled her shirt back down. How do you feel? Carol took a deep breath and slowly began to move. Better, much better. The spasm is releasing. Can you help me sit up? I helped her into a sitting position, being careful not to touch her more than absolutely necessary. She sat there for a moment, testing her range of motion. It worked, she said, relief flooding her voice. Thank you, Daniel. I know that was incredibly uncomfortable for you. Are you sure you're okay? Maybe we should still call a doctor. I'll be fine. I've had muscle spasms before. This was just worse than usual. I should have known better than to try that advanced pose without warming up properly. I stood up awkwardly, not sure what to say or do next. Carol looked up at me, and I could see the embarrassment in her eyes. Daniel, I'm sorry I put you in that position. I was desperate, and you were the only person here. But I understand if this made you uncomfortable. It's fine, I said, though it definitely wasn't fine. I'm just glad you're okay. I retreated to my room and sat on my bed, my hands still shaking. I just touched my stepmother's bare skin. Yes, it was medical. Yes, she was in pain. Yes, there were legitimate reasons for everything that happened. But it still felt wrong on some fundamental level. I didn't tell anyone about the incident. Not my friends, not my girlfriend, certainly not my father. How could I? Hey, Dad, so today your wife asked me to touch her wouldn't go over well regardless of the context. But then, 2 days later, something happened that made everything even more complicated. I came home to find my dad and Carol having a serious conversation in the kitchen. They stopped talking when I walked in. Daniel, my dad said, his expression unreadable. Carol told me what happened the other day. With her back, my stomach dropped. Dad, I can explain. She told me how you helped her when she was in pain and how professional and respectful you were about it. She said you probably felt uncomfortable, but you helped anyway because she needed it. I looked at Carol, who gave me a small, grateful smile. I just wanted to say thank you, my dad continued. Carol has a history of back problems, and these muscle spasms can be really serious if not treated quickly. You did the right thing. Okay. You're welcome. After my dad left the room, Carol approached me. I wanted to tell him before rumors or misunderstandings could start. I wanted him to hear the truth from me. I hope that's okay. That was probably smart. I admitted, and Daniel, I'm going to start seeing a physical therapist. I should have professional help for this, not putting my stepson in awkward positions. Over the following months, something shifted in our relationship. Carol was more open with me, and I found myself actually enjoying our conversations. She told me about her own difficult relationship with her stepmother growing up, and how she'd always been afraid of becoming that person for me. When I asked you to help me that day, she said once, I was terrified you'd refuse. Not because you were cruel, but because I thought we didn't have the kind of relationship where you'd be willing to help me in a vulnerable moment. The fact that you did meant more than you know. A year later, I graduated from college. At the celebration dinner, my dad stood up to make a toast. I want to thank Carol for being there for Daniel this past year, especially during finals when I was traveling for work. She drove him care packages, made sure he was eating, and even helped him study for his economics exam even though she freely admits she doesn't understand economics. Carol laughed, and I found myself smiling. She had done all those things, and I barely acknowledged them at the time. After dinner, Carol pulled me aside. I'm proud of you, Daniel, and I'm grateful that we've become friends. I know I'm not your mother, and I'm not trying to be, but I'm glad I can be someone you trust. Me too, I said, and I meant it. That day when my stepmother asked me to touch her could have destroyed our relationship. It could have created permanent awkwardness, suspicion, or resentment. Instead, because we both chose to handle it with honesty and maturity, it became the moment that actually brought us closer. My stepmother did ask me to touch her. She asked because she was in pain and needed help. There was nothing inappropriate about it, nothing scandalous, nothing wrong. Just a person in distress asking for help from the only other person available. Sometimes the most uncomfortable moments become the foundation for real trust. Sometimes helping someone in their most vulnerable state is what transforms a distant relationship into a genuine connection. And sometimes, the stories that sound the worst are actually about people choosing to do the right thing, even when it's awkward as hell.